Apex Online Racing is sponsored by Elgato, who created this lovely Stream Deck. For more information about the Stream Deck, the link is in the description below.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is, per usual, Mr. Murray Walker, aka Evil Dragon. Welcome back to yet another round. We are past the half. We are on round 6 of 10. We're getting there. This season is coming fast upon us. Joining me in the commentary box yet again is the one, it's the only, it is Miss Jess Games.
Good evening, Evil. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 15, round number 6 here at Nurburgring tonight, which is going to be the second sprint race and feature race of the season, because to make it vary a little bit, the last one was in Rouen-les-Essarts, which was the second round of the season, but now we're approaching halfway, so they thought they would do another one. It's a motor racing circuit near Nurburgring in West Germany, and it's played host to the German Grand Prix in Formula 1 in real life, and it was mainly built the Grand Prix track due to the fact that Nordschleife, as some of you may know, was unsafe for Formula 1 drivers. That's why they don't race anymore. So, so luckily it's not the Nordschleife they'll be racing today. I do believe it's the Grand Prix layout.
Yeah, the Grand Prix layout. Of course, the Nordschleife for the big bad daddy of them all, the one everyone wants to win in GT racing at least. Often they can bring surprise around that circuit. Of course, we're driving around the GP circuit, which is it's a bit small, it's a bit quick, it's I don't like the GP circuit. I prefer the Nordschleife, even though I could drive this version of the Nordschleife. But as some people in this lobby well know, they tend to flip down that straight, and there's some guy called Scold in there, who you might remember from previous seasons, had a bit of an accident around there. He flipped about 7 million times, and some other drivers were injured in the making of that crash. I memed it a lot. It was a good accident. Go and watch it. It was about 3 seasons ago. You might be able to find it. We'll link it somewhere. Well, yes, of course, GP layout. We have some returning faces. Well, we'll get into that later on. Some people have pulled out of the season. We'll get to that as well later on. But, what do you see in this second half of the season, though?
Well, boy Raxa, he is the man to beat, to be honest, in this championship. He's right at the top. He's been getting 3 race wins in a row, and he's just been looking like the dominant force out of everyone, to be honest. And it's been one of the most comfortable championships he has ever been in. The car suits him very well. He's done the right decision on choosing the Merc, actually, and he just feels a lot of home, actually. So it's just great to see.
Indeed. Well, in terms of constructors as well, we'll get to that as well later on, but it's a circuit though. We're now at the Nurburgring. We've got Monte Carlo in 7 days' time, which is going to be very much whoever ends up turn 1 the point in the right direction most likely will win the race. But it's Monaco, anything can happen. It could rain, all I know. I don't think it's going to rain, but alas, anything can happen around that circuit, and normally does next week. But right now, Nurburgring, Jess, and we've got a nice hot lap to go on board with in a little bit, haven't we?
Yes, we do, and I'm actually very excited to introduce this hot lap because we have a familiar face returning to the GT3 leagues. He's got a new wheel now, so he could join us in the league. It is the very lovely Mr. VSR Rotary, also known as Ethan, as he takes you on board with a lap around the Nürburgring in Germany.
Hello, my name is VSR Rotary, and I'm going to take you a lap around the Nürburgring GP. So after taking a small break, I'm now back in GT3 with my new wheel, which is the T300 RS GT. Decided to take the BMW Z4 for a spin for the rest of the season, just for a bit of fun. Coming down to turn number 1 is a downhill braking zone, so be careful not to overshoot the braking zone. Keep it nice and tight to the right as it allows us to open up turn number 2, carries a lot of speed in. See, keeping it nice and tight to the curb there allows us to bring out nice and wide, carry all that momentum speed. Now turning in quite early here, cutting it inside the corner, allows us to open up this next turn here. Use all the curbing and all the track on the outside as well, carry that speed and momentum. Now coming down to this downhill right-hander, got to be careful we don't go too wide as we'll kill all that speed and momentum, and then open up this right-hand turn. It's a late apex so we can get on the power nice and early. Now downhill towards the banked hairpin at the bottom of the circuit, the lowest part of the circuit. A lot of elevation here at the Nurburgring. So this banked hairpin allows us to carry a lot of speed and then back on the power nice and early. Back uphill towards the Michael Schumacher S, flat out for the BMW Z4, but we've got to be careful though we don't catch these curves wrong as they can send us shooting into the gravel trap. Still climbing uphill towards this left-hander here. We're going to drop it down into gear 2. Use all the curb on the inside, bring it back over to the right. See just a snap of oversteer there, still in gear 2. Carry all the speed and momentum on this back straight. See going downhill again towards this right-hand kink that is completely flat out. Then going back uphill, you can see the banking on the right there, just how low down we are. Now into the chicane. This is a real death trap with this car. See, just getting all kinds of oversteer there. It's a real pain with this car. Now coming into the final corner, once again cutting in early, allows us to carry all that speed in, carry it out on the exit, and that is a lap of the Nurburgring GP.
So thank you very much to Ethan for providing us with this hot lap. So before we go to the qualifying, which has got about 12 minutes to go, let's go through the championship standings. So it is Boymax, as I said earlier, who is leading the championship with 252 points, which is a 69-point gap to Tinus in second place. And then we got Gaza in third place with 169 points. With 138 points in fourth place, we have Jasko. Big Kid Daddy in 5th place with 138 points. And we got Tofino in 6th place, Leonardo 7th, Papano 8th, Jazzman with 2 podiums in a row in 9th place. And 10th is Wolfman. Unfortunately, Wolfman has pulled out of the league. That's why Ethan is replacing him in the Visual Racing team. And we got Fogarty in 11th, Skull 12th, Vetro 13th, SF 14th, Matt Jordan in 15th, which I think we pretty much jinxed him last week. I kind of feel bad for him, but I think he is here tonight because we also do have a full grid. And Archel, he has having bad luck in this league in last place. But let's get to the track, Evil.
Indeed. Well, we'll go for the person who is currently on 69 points and is currently in 7th. I'm going to say that's very nice. So far, but let's see what he can do. Of course, they're on their out laps. Well, I think they're on their first flying laps right now. They come the Schumacher S, named of course after the late great. Well, not the late great because he's still alive and he's very much still great, but the long-living legend Michael Schumacher, who we of course do give all our hopes for still after that horrible skiing accident in 2013. Well, some 6 years ago nearly now, Jess. That was a long time ago.
Yes, it was. He does look pretty comfortable out there on the circuit right now as he is about to approach some very tight set of corners to negotiate, actually, as he just goes past the pit exit now. So I believe he's about to finish a lap time. Yes, he is. He's going to come across the line now, and let's see if he can beat Jasko's current pole time. We shall see as he comes across the line now.
Second.
7 tenths slower than Jasko, but not that far behind, clear of Jazzman. But I think it's about 30,000. Well, 30,000 of a second. That is pretty close right now.
Yeah, Ethan's already got himself a penalty meter down the back, so a little bit Mr. Humour's down the back for him. He's got Mr. Cole Fogarty right behind him, who spoke to me earlier on, and he said that just to stop calling him old. He's not that old. He's only in his 40s. Some people are in their 60s, but he's still old to me. The old timer, the old veteran. 95-year-old he thought people are going to think he was the amount of times I keep saying it, but now he's 95. So the 95-year-old Cole Fogarty, everyone, in the 85 car. So we'll call him 85 God. Today. He's now 85. There we go. You can watch this back later and laugh at me for doing that, but nonetheless, we'll move on upwards. Of course, he had a struggle season, of course. He broke his arm last year So he's still recovering in that recovery stage. That's why he seems a little bit off in some pace. However, you've got to look forward, and you see the car ahead of him. It is Ethan, who, again, I was speaking to early. He said, don't expect much from me. I'm still getting used to the Thrustmaster. And if I'm going to be slow, it's going to happen. But I'm here for fun. I'm here to enjoy it. I've gone in a car I haven't gone in before, and it's going to be a test for next season, of course. It's going to take it one race at a time, and he very much might as well be finished this entire season. Although he definitely said he was not looking for next week. That is going to be Monte Carlo. And, well, it should be quite good. Let's see where he goes so far. He's in 11th position, so just 12th behind Vectra then in the Lamborghini in the 69 car, of course, which I always say is a very lovely livery. Whatever holder saying the word beginning of nice was number 69 today. Attempt to. But the partner P2 so far in the 63, but it's Jasko back up front yet again. Last week he did very well, and quite a lot of drivers had quite a lot of fun little races. It was at the Hockenheimring, I can't remember, 7 days ago. I might be wrong, but a lot happened in 7 days. It was Hockenheim last week, I think it was.
No, it was Donington last week. Hockenheim was 2 weeks ago. Hockenheim was 2 weeks ago.
Donington just completely disappeared from my mind then, poor old Donington. But Hockenheimring, the classic race. Germany always brings up a smile, so let's see if it's relative sibling circuit, of course, in definition of, well, in Formula 1 at least, it switches every 2 years. Well, it did, of course, and it hasn't since 2013 due to economical issues with the circuit. Well, the circuit's situated around about 30 miles away from Spa, as there is one of the Lamborghinis going through. So basically, if it ever rains in Spa or the Nurburgring, it's likely it's come from Spa or the other circuits. They have very localized weather conditions. They all travel between each other. So that's an interesting fact to note down there. They are only 1.5 hours away by car. So always fun to little trivia fact there.
Learn something new every day, Evil, to be honest. I never knew that they were quite close together. I do remember Spa being in the calendar last season. I do believe it was the championship decider last season, and that brought out, I could see is going to be a very good sprint race and very good feature race, because I think they provide a lot more overtaking opportunities than obviously the Ruinlair starts, where you can hardly overtake at all, to be honest. But yeah, Spa and Nurburgring have two very similar characteristics and two very similar characteristics, so you know it should be interesting. But no mandatory pit stops in this event tonight, so they just got to keep it on the circuit, as it were, and make sure they don't bin it. And I know a few people might, but hopefully they won't anyway.
Jasmo, meanwhile, if it seems laggy for you, that's because I think he's on hotspot internet right now. He's
on mobile. Yeah, he's on mobile internet at the moment.
Internet. So if he just disappears, well, I'll get a lovely shot from the circuit from space, because that's a nice thing I like doing. If you don't know, on my Twitter, I often try and post pictures of the circuits from space, and they look really beautiful. Apart from when they despawn, and it's not very fun. But this circuit's going to be fun if Jasmine disconnects. I hope he doesn't disconnect, because I've cursed him now. I'm going to be very sad. But no, my luck, I've condemned him to the dead. Essa, meanwhile, in the pit lane, he is currently last, struggling that Audi compared to his teammate Skull, who is currently 12th position, coming out of the pit lane in his other Audi. Archil, he's sitting up there as he's sitting, then he's sitting in 5th position, so Archil doing a good job. Now, he has not finished the last 2 races, Skull losing traction through turn 1. If Archilo felt, and now the rules and regulations, the sport and code says if you retire from 3 consecutive races, you are automatically removed from the season, of course, if you retire at least. So he has to be on his best behaviour, of course. We never know, if he's taken out or disconnects, I think that might get away with it, but if he does retire, he might be in a spot of bother, Jess.
Yeah, and it just goes to show, really, Archibald does not need to give up. He needs to keep going, and especially in races like this, where we got a shorter 2 races actually, he gets more of a chance to pick up on a good result, really. So, to be honest, I can see it's a good thing if he, I don't see it's a good thing if he gets a bad result, but I see it's a good thing that he could turn it around quite quickly if he has a bad race 1, because he could have a much better race 2. But praying that, I hope he has good both races, because he is quick. He is quick on 1 lap pace. He just needs to improve on his race pace.
You know, he's incredibly quick, but it's the consistency. He makes mistakes, and well, of course, last time in Darlington he had a mistake. He spun, and that's what happened to Vectro, by the way. If you wondered where Vectro went in that race, he got clipped on the rear wing and ended up rolling it. So that's what happened last week, and we didn't see it exactly. His camera man decided he didn't want to show said incident because it was so bad. It was unbroadcastably bad. But alas, Vectro, he's currently in 15th, struggling this season. He can't get the car to work. He's just really hasn't got any pace. He hasn't really practiced as much as others, or as well, I've done more practice, I think, than Vectro might have done, which might say a little bit. Archie over the curbs there in the MGK chicane, if I'm not too mistaken. It's still called that. We used to be called that back in the day, but I'll call it that now. Now, in terms of this circuit layout, the last chicane is different from what these cars would race at. They would have raced at the slightly quicker chicane, of course. If you drive around the Nurburgring Nordschleife, the 24-hour layout, it's that chicane. It's the very quick one. This variant is the Formula 1 variant, at least, so it has the tricky, pretty much a complete chicane, where it's a dead stop, left-right. So the more flowing left-right, of course, where it's the older circuit used to have in the 1990s. Talking about the 1990s, Jason, this circuit has changed ever so slightly, of course. The first sector hit, completely different, I remember. It used to be what was the hairpin, and then it would cut in, basically like it does on the 24-hour layout yet again. So, 24-hour layout just gets the better version, in my opinion. Of course, we'll talk about this circuit in its history as the race goes on, if we have a little bit of pause. But a circuit that has undergone, especially this variant, very little changes, to be fair.
Yeah, it was first used in 2002, this layout, and I like it. I like German Grand Prix in general. They always produce good races anyway, due to the fact that it always produces long distance racing. But, you know, I'm gutted that Nurburgring's not on the calendar anymore. I kind of wish it was. There are talks that they're bringing back the German Grand Prix back in the revised calendar for Formula 1. In Hockenheim, but I hope if they do, a good idea I think they should have one in Hockenheim, one in Nurburgring, but that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, due to the probably safety of the track, you know, we'll have to wait and see that's one. Already we've got 1 minute and 30 seconds left to go of qualifying. Skull's going to come across the line now. He's 12th in qualifying at the moment. Let's see if he could do any better. He currently sits on a 1:59.936. No, he doesn't. He's 1 second off his best at the moment, and obviously, VSR Roadtree still getting used to his new wheel. And just to point out, his first master wheel he got is a T300 GT. And I have looked on Twitter, and it's very, very nice. And to be honest, Evil, I am jealous of his new wheel.
It's very heavy. It cost him £200, and he told me he'd already found some rust on it. So
how
on
come?
the upshifter, I think, but of course he's going to get a new rims, so that shouldn't be too much of an effect. It doesn't affect his performance at all, as long as it doesn't snap off. That'd be very bad. Let's hope that doesn't happen for Sanity Stakes. But of course, this circuit itself first hosted a race on this exact version in 1984. It was an M1 Pro Car event run by a certain Brazilian named Ayrton Senna. Was the first time they raced on this circuit. Raced against all the Formula 1 drivers, and he won. He won. So if that doesn't show the greatness of that man, I don't know what doesn't. But 1984, the first actual race took place. Of course, like you said, Jess, 2001, the updated variant, the one with the first couple of corners, 2002, the updated variant came along. Of course, I very much remember, though, my favourite memory of this circuit would have been 1995 and 1999. Now, I wasn't born in 95. I was born in 1999. I would have been about 7 months old, I think, 5, 6 months old at the time. So, as a wee pup, I definitely don't remember this race, but of course, 1999, European Grand Prix, I think, would have been back then.
I was 4 in 99. I think. I can't remember. Anyway, Pabano crossed the line, and he's about to start his final lap. Oh no, he's finished. He's finished.
Yeah, he's finished his last lap. The finishing line, of course, a lot earlier on this circuit than the start line. Like, of course, it is in real life. One of the few circuits that the start line is in the correct position of mind. So that's always fun. Gazza in third, Jazzman in fifth so far. Let's see, he comes through the last corner. Let's see, can he improve? Well, let's see, his mobile data seems to be holding up relatively well, surprisingly. I thought he'd be flying upside down, of course, out of the map because of the lag, but he so far stays fourth, actually. He improves up to fourth then. So he beats Tinnis, who is in fifth, who beats his teammate. Archie in 6th, and by Raxer looks like he's done in 7th. Cam or Matt Jordan through the last corner in the Mercedes-Benz. Let's see if he can get himself off of 8th position, get himself up into the top 5. No, he does not. Stays 8th for the time being. We're waiting for Mr. Jeffrey, who's going very silent through the last corner. And in the number 69 car, does he improve? No, he doesn't. No, he does improve. Nuts! He does improve. There we go. Puts him up to 12. Beats Scold. Beats Fogarty, the old timer. Beats Ethan, who we could pardon for this. He's new to a wheel. He wasn't expecting too much. And he beats Etu, who's rather unfortunately not having many more luck than a Ginetta right now. He's 3 seconds off the pace. And that is a long way off in terms of lap times.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame for Chris, you know, but we can hopefully see him improve just a little bit. So, yeah, we've got Jasko in pole position with Papano in 2nd, Gaza 3rd, Jazzman in 4th, Tinnis in 5th, Archel 6th, Boy Raxer in 7th, Matt Jordan in 8th, Leonardo in 9th, and Big Kid Daddy in 10th. And for some reason, it's not letting me scroll through the rest of the field for some weird reason, so you have to stay in the top 10 for now. But yeah, I'm happy with Vectro's time, to be honest. He's not last. He's starting to get more comfortable with the car. I think he won't be expecting that high today, but you know, I thought on this track he could do a lot better than his previous choice of car. His previous choice of car was obviously the Ferrari 488, and this is a 20-minute sprint race. It's 11 laps, no formation lap in this first race. It's just lights out and away we go when the lights go out.
Indeed. Well, let's find out, reading the chat, by the way, some interesting comments. I'm not going to repeat, that's a little bit, but I'll go and talk about that later on.
I've just seen
tonight.
it. Oh god,
it's not good. Never mind. We've got 11 laps ahead of us, and well, could be worse. Jasko on pole position from Papano, Gaza from Jazzman, Tinners ahead of Archel. We've got Boyrax ahead of Cam, or Matt Jordan, might I say. There we got Leonardo in 9th place ahead of Big Kid Daddy in 10th. Defino ahead of Vector, Scold, Fogarty, Essa, and Ethan down the back. He had that 1 place grid penalty, maybe even 2 actually he may have got. So he starts right down the back of the field. He's just going to have a little bit of fun down there. 11 laps, Jess. And then we've got 22, 40 litres in the tank, most likely for everyone, of course. They should easily be able to make this thing. Grid start as well. We don't actually see it in these races, do we?
No, I mean, we're used to the rolling starts go on for a long time, and then it takes a while for to get the tyres to get up to temperature. But this time, they've really got to be on it in terms of actually getting a good start. Jasko hasn't had good starts as of yet, but hopefully we'll see a change of luck for Jasko at the moment. He needs it, to be honest, but hopefully I won't jinx anyone. I jinxed Matt Jordan last week. I don't want to jinx anybody else. So, yeah, it is going to be a quite closely matched field in terms of pace, I feel, but we'll just have to wait and see. Let us know your thoughts in the chat on who you think is going to win, and I'll let you take the start, Evil.
Yeah, well, we're sinking, of course, and well, nobody these rows don't have sinking feelings. We've got 1 light, the 2nd, here comes the 3rd, when the 4th goes off, it'll be underway, and it is. Lights out, away we go then. Good start from Jasko, good start from Papano, and everyone seemingly gets off the grid correctly, but Papano, I think, starting to pull alongside, is he? No, he's not, a little bit further back in the black and blue car, Papano down the inside, late braking, he's gone too deep, car off, round goes Jasko, car upside down, the cameraman's died, everything's gone right, oh my god, there's a car on its side, and that is Jazzman, out of the race. We've got someone else off as well, that's Jasko, and Jazzman, I think, in trouble. I think we've got more cars down the back, I think Archil's out already, so Arthur Khan's at the start of this race, yes. Fogarty involved. I think Ethan managed to get through up to 10th position there. But what on earth happened down there at turn number 1?
I don't really know, to be honest. Boy, Raxa didn't have a really good start at all. He's down in 5th, whereas Gaza, he's had a brilliant start. And Jordan, look at him! He's in P2!
Yeah, Matt Jordan, a stonking start from the Mercedes. So Mercedes leads 1-2. There goes up the inside. Papano, contact there. He's getting rather clumsy right now. He wants to have contact with everyone in this race so far. As he comes up the Schumacher rest, that's going to have to back off there. Papano won't do it that much, sunshine. Has to back off. He does do so. Papano getting in all sorts of trouble here. He's still coming through then on the outside then. As he come down towards the 3rd sector. Can he do it then on the brakes? Tries around the outside. There'll be contact there if he's not too careful. He's forced off the circuit there. Byrack's a good start for him. Stonking start down there up to 6th so far, but Archer already out of this race. And the one thing we said, Jess, he needed to finish. Well, he's not done that because he ended up with a car in his face at the start of this race. Jazzman, I believe, he's got nothing on the car. He's completely out of this race. As he comes through this chicane, here goes Rapano, trying around the outside. They breaking in the Lamborghini. Other Lamborghini ahead, though, weaving a little bit slightly. Holds the line so far. Behind him, though, there up the inside trying is Byrax. I can't do a lot about that one, but up front, Matt Jordan on the charge. He's having a look at Gaza up front. Let's see, can he do it in the slipstream? A little bit too far back to try in turn one. We'll have a look if he dives up the inside. He's going to try and upset that through turn one. Can't do it. What about partner? He's right up behind the cars ahead of him. Does there be any conflict for turn number one? No, there is not. So everyone clean through on that number 2 at least, apart from Fogarty, who's gone flying off through the through the back shot there, but I think he's kept it in relative control. Yes, he has. Jazzman in the pit lane meanwhile. So utter carnage in the beginning of this race, but it is Gaza leading just about from Matt Jordan. Tennis in 3rd, then comes Rapano, then behind him comes Byraxa, Defino and Skull. Then comes Leonardo, Ethan up to 9th position so far in the BMW Z4. Then good start for him. Big Kid Daddy also up to P10. Vetro in 11th. He hasn't made too many gains to start of this race yet, but crucially though, Matt Jordan so far 2nd position. As long as he doesn't spin this week unlike last couple of weeks, he's on a very good result potentially.
Yes, he even said in the chat that he was really comfortable with this circuit. He's put in hours of practice around here, so, and it just goes to show really, if you put the amount of practice, you can see on the track how he just committing to the corners a lot better, and it's nice to see someone other than Byraxa and Tinnis challenge Gaza for the lead. It's just nice. It's only his 2nd race as well, and Defino doing quite well in 6th place as well. Rapano in 4th. Like there is a little bit of a shake up the order there, which I think it is just great because obviously Byraxa was running away with it already, as we see someone diving around the inside. Big Kick Daddy, look at the move he's putting on. I believe it's Ethan, I believe. Yes, it is. Brilliant job. Big Kid Daddy has been impressed with his performance the last few races. He had a lot of fun. Vetro trying to get around the outside of Ethan there. There we go. He makes it stick. Yes, good job from Vetro. Vetro up into 10th place. Vetro doing very well as well, but he's got a penalty as well as Defino as well. So I don't know how much that is, but I believe it's 1 second, I believe. So we'll check that later on. As they don't have to worry about... Yeah, it is 1 second. I was right. So yes, they don't have to worry about fuel as much because they've put enough fuel to last the whole race. So as long as they keep going, they can push their cars to the absolute limit. As long as their tyres are good, of course. But, you know, I'm interested to see how Matt does with Gaza. I really hope he does well.
Yeah, meanwhile, we got Defino and Skull a little bit further back, getting a bit close, but not close enough so far. But Vetro, optimistic little move there. Ethan was unsettled there by Vicky Daddy going up the inside. Then Vetro, you know what? He had a little pot up the inside, did a little dive, worked off for him though, because he's got ahead of him. So Vetro, the optimistic driver occasionally, he doesn't often show it, but gets through, and everything goes well for him. But up front, Gaza still holding off Matt Jordan from 2nd, Tinnis in 3rd, and Epipano, who's calmed down a little bit, very polished in the beginning of this race. And I think it was him going down the inside that unsettled Jasko. Jasko then spun, lost the rear end, got collected there, and Jasko all the way up in 12th position. So he got very lucky if he didn't get too much damage from that one, because he was putting right in the middle, and someone did hit him. I think that must have been Archer potentially in Jazzman, then barrel rolling over the top of the pair of them. So he's definitely out of this race, and we'd like to see what that was later on. Potentially, we'll get a replay of it. Well, we won't be seeing on the stream, but I'll definitely get a replay of that start. Gaza leading this race still from Matt Jordan. Matt still keeping up, though. We're on that number 3 of 11. We've got some 9 and a bit laps to go. And these grid start, Jess, we often say it, they always bring out some great opening laps, don't they?
Yeah, except it was a little bit of a crazy opening lap, I must say, in turn 1. But turn 1 is very tricky, I got to admit. Less trickier than obviously Hockenheim, even though Hockenheim is just really fast, whereas Nurburgring is a little bit slower compared to Hockenheim in turn 1. So a bit trickier, and they got to make sure they brake at the right times as well. Jordan 2 tenths behind Gaza now, and 1:55.5 was his fastest lap. Sorry. 5.36, whereas Gaz at 5.09. So they're matching on pace. Tinnis is getting faster actually behind them, so we can find a few tenths here and there. He could catch up to these guys. So is Papano as well, pretty much faster than Matt Jordan as well. Everybody else is not matching these guys. The next nearest rival is Boy Raxa 155.9. Now we've got Scold P6 156.0. So Scold at the moment is keeping out of trouble, which is doing well in his favour in this race so far.
Yeah, he wants to be keeping out of trouble. That is a bit wide from Turnus. That might have cost him a couple of kilometres an hour. I think Matt Jordan having a little look up the inside for a second there. He's trying it. He's pushing. Let's see if the 127 can beat the old 75 then. The car that has pretty much won, well, is that and his teammate at least, have run a lot of the races this season. By Raxa are down in 5th. Worst result I think I've seen for him in a long time, Jess. So let's see if he can improve later on. But Matt Jordan really on a charge there as I think the partner having a look up the inside there on the brakes. So thought about it again there. He's really trying. He wants to be careful of chucking up the inside and then it going wrong. But I think he's having a little look again up the inside potentially. Yes, he is. There'll be contact there. No, surely not. And he backs out of it just about. But Papano is looking very punchy indeed. And I think now he might have a little run through turn 1. Let's see. Does Tinus go defending? He does. He'll force him around the outside. Let's see. Papano will have to go around the outside then. Dead on the brakes as you do it. Maybe squeeze then, loses the rear end slightly. Good defending there from the former champion in, of course, the endurance racing. He's very much the front runner. And let's see what he can do then. But so far, Papano stuck behind Matt Jordan. Also stuck behind Gaza. So first, second, third and fourth battling in their little segregated battles so far. And I think Papano, if he's not too careful, is going to end up taking both of them off the road behind.
Yeah, luckily he didn't manage to get the move done, because otherwise there would have been a massive shunt. So he is taking risks, but when he knows he can't make the move, he just doesn't. And that is very crucial in these types of races, because it's very short. And if you have a little accident early on in the race, you don't have many laps to recover, whereas obviously in the feature race, which is going to be happening very soon, you have a lot longer to cope with, and obviously you have longer laps. You have 22 laps to be exact. So a lot more time to recover. Maybe Papano may take a few more risks then. These corners kind of remind me of the S section in Japan. I was like, are we in Japan for a minute then? But no, we're not. We're in Nurburgring. But it kind of reminds me of that. It's just very tricky. That's why obviously most people are on a wheel, whereas a few people are on a pad, of course. Papano's found a few tenths on Tinnis once again. Tinnis staying in 3rd place for now. He's just tucked behind these two of Matt Jordan and Gaza. I mean, he doesn't want to go that close to him at the moment, because if Matt Jordan or Gaza gets caught up in something, most likely Tinnis will be caught up soon. Yeah, but how much longer? Papano's going to have another look towards the final corner. Can he make it stick this time? He's going to make sure he doesn't take that much risk, but this time, the risk, I think, has paid off. A bit of love tapping from these two, from Tinnis and Papano. Obviously very legal in the rules, I must say, but Papano, he's got to make the move count now. He's got to through turn number 1, and he does. So yeah, good job from Papano. Oh, Tinnis going to have another look now around the outside.
See, and we're going to go around the outside there. Not very easy to go around the outside for turn number 2 and 3. Might try and do the cut back into turn number 4. Like if he gets the line, no, he does not. So good move from Papano. A little bit of a love tap for extra measure. Is by Raxa now all over the back of Tinnis. Now these two have had a lovely history, by the way, and this is always, these two respect each other more than anything right now. Papano, rash aggressive, but it works. He pulls off, meanwhile behind Scold and Leonardo a little bit close together, I think, potentially about 3-4 tenths separating them, so we'll keep an eye on that battle in the background. But now Papano can go chase down after Matt Jordan. Let's see if we can do anything of that Mercedes. Well, let's see if Tinnis and Byraxa can provide a little bit of entertainment. Behind them, though, we just say we saw Scold battling away with Defino. It was Defino, Scold, Leonardo, and then we've got Big Kid Daddy. So far, 9th, having a bit more of a quieter race. Content from last week. I think it's the top 8 reverse, Jess, if I'm not too mistaken.
Yes,
as well.
That's
so
right.
That means Leonardo will start on pole, so anything can still happen, remember. So let's find out. Let's see, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. All very much similar in terms of engine. They've got all the same exact engine, of course. Different chassis, different body kit, remember, between the Lambo and the Audi. Apart from that, though, sometimes in pace they can be very similar. But on circuits like this, definitely more to be a Lamborghini circuit. It's still punching above his weight. And having a look right now at the inside potentially. But
oh God!
That was, that's Leonardo.
That
Leonardo going straight on? It was Leonardo going straight on then. So that's going to do damage to Skull. That'd be a pit lane then, surely, for Skull. Damage potentially. So, late braking. I'm not sure what happened there. Concertina effect and lack of judgment. His Skull got damage from that, though, is the question. I don't think he's got too much. Meanwhile, up front, we have Matt Jordan under pressure right now from Papano a little bit there. I was having a look backwards as well. So that got about 0.2 of a second. Jasko now, I think, he's got a good chance of passing Skold right now. Skold's got a wounded car. Leonardo's going to have no front end. I think that's got a lot of damage. Yeah, it had a lot of damage. Luckily for Skold, he hasn't lost that rear wing, though.
No, he was, to be honest, he was very, very lucky to not get any more damage. I mean, I thought it was getting a little bit too close to what happened in lap 1, but it didn't. So, luckily Skull could keep going, because he's going to lose that much time as he's in the pits right now. But he only lost 1 position from that, so fair play. And Big Kid Daddy now up to 7th. Tofino now up into 6th place, so he's doing quite well as well. Everyone else remains unchanged. Gazza's starting to pull away from Matt Jordan. And Papano, I think he's resting on his laurels a little bit. He needs to pick up the pace a little bit more and not take, he's taken a little bit too... Well, actually, he's right past Cam at the moment, actually. He is picking up the pace, sorry, my bad. I thought he was lower down for some weird reason, but he is not. So maybe Matt Jordan needs to pick up the pace with Gazza. That's why they're so far ahead right now. Gazza, because the more they battle, of course, the more that, obviously, Gazza will say, thank you very much, that'll be my win, done and dusted. They've all got a few more laps to go, though, so anything can happen, as Papano touched a little bit of the curb there, but to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with Papano's racing so far. I mean, he's just learning from his mistakes. He's not doing the Mr. Flipperoonie that we've seen a few races ago, but I'm happy with how he's doing this race.
Yeah, he's doing good. Meanwhile, further back, Leonardo dropping down more and more. He's got Vetro behind him there, the number 69 car. Let's see if he can make swift work of the car right ahead of him. Meanwhile, up front we go again. Gazza, Cam, Papano, those top three. Very close together, Papano. He's letting the brakes, and I think if he sniffs an opportunity, I think he's going to go send it. And let's hope he doesn't end up taking up poor Matt Jordan, because no Tinnis almost had contact earlier on with Papano. Very over there did touch, I suppose. That's the exit of the last corner. Very luckily, though, they managed not to end up getting magnetized and dragged off into the Never realm. Let's see. Slipstream down in towards the head, and potentially a bit too far back in these GT cars, but Papano, he's lost the late breakers. He's got a very high pedigree of going for moves from a long way back. So just dip it on the grass and then spinning the car around, which he almost does on cue. But let's see. From the back course, we've still got Tofino's Big Kid Daddy, Skold, Jasko, and Ethan all in that little train of cars. Skold still in a position. That's the reverse grid pole position for the feature race, which comes up in around about 15 minutes. It's under 15 minutes now. We've got 2 and a bit laps to go, bar this one and the next one. So we've got 4 laps, give or take, still to go. But number 63 looking punchy. Top 2 still staying together. Still Mercedes 1-2 this season, though. It's often we see Mercedes lead 1 and we see Mercedes lead 2. Then we've got Papano in 3rd. Then we've got Tinnis and Byraxa 4th and 5th. Now, this is the section of the circuit that is so good for Papano. He gets a very good exit through this corner. And if he gets alongside, he's always got an opportunity to go down the inside to the last corner. It'd be brave to do it there. There's Matt Jordan, covers it off, no charge for that. But if he gets a good exit here, now what he needs to do is just try not brake too late, because we know he's very good on the brakes. And I think also we might have got a bit of a slipstream train down towards turn 1. But let's see, is Papano going to have a little sniff down the inside through turn 1, I reckon? No, he doesn't think better of it. So he doesn't want to be doing something too reckless. Doesn't want to be taking another car off the road through turn number 1. In the background there, we've got Tinnis and Byraxa going a little bit sideways through the exit of turn number 1 and 2. But there you go, Papano again having a look up the inside. Late on the brakes, and it's almost contact there. And as he got through, he'll have the inside. The next corner, they'll come to contact nearly surely. Papano giving absolutely no curtos there to the inside. Matt Jordan, a little bit wide, got on the curb. And Papano, like I said, he only needed to sniff a door, and he would go for it. He's like a attack dog right now in the Lamborghini, which is a raging bull. raging in the China shop, and now can he go and chase after Gazlen for the lead of this race? That is the question, but Matt Jordan, he left the door open ever so slightly, and it did almost work for him, but he just couldn't do it.
I think we could definitely call Papano Mr. Late Breaker by the end of this race. That was an amazing move from Papano. I mean, you know, he just made it look easy. To be honest, if I tried to move there, I would have probably flipped it, but Papano had no such qualms, and he's now 5 temps, he's now 4 temps. You can see he's getting a bit more on the corners compared to Gaza, and that's probably due to his setup. Of course, you can change the setup, and he's getting a little bit more on the straights too. I mean, he's chosen a pretty good setup for the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini seems to do well around here. I can't remember where Papano started on track.
Oh, Matt Jordan's gone off somewhere, Jess. I think he has gone off. He's down in 5th, so... Well, I don't have to say I'm going to curse him every time he gets overtaken, but he does struggle. He has had a habit of struggling when he's been overtaken. He ends up dropping back very suddenly. He's down in 5th, so that's not the end of the world for him. He'll still start up there in the second race. He does not need to make any more mistakes. We're on that number 10 now of this race. Papano looking punchy yet again behind Gaza. He's a little bit too far back to have any lunge up the inside. I think Gaza knows more than anyone right now. This is a sprint race. It's not a feature race. You don't need to risk it. In the background there by Raxa, I think, side by side with Tinnis. Tinnis still on the inside, though, by Raxa on the outside. And that'll be break between those two. I think they should just about get away with it. Wheel to wheel stop. Look at this. By Raxa around the outside. Now this will turn to the inside for the next corner. As long as Tinnis knows he's there, he does do so. Gives him enough space then. Now they'll go side by side down towards the next one. Then this is the tricky left-hander. Now, on the inside will be Tinnis by Raxa on the outside. Let's see, by Raxa that goes right round the outside then. Late on the brakes as always, as the high ground doesn't completely round the outside. Up front, meanwhile, we've got Gaza. Now under pressure from Papano, crying round the outside. Almost makes contact there down into the braking zone. But Papano looking left, he's looking right. He'll have a little look up the upside of the Schumacher rest, but he won't do it there. Now, his best opportunity is just try and keep rhythm and then do him down into the NGK chicane. That's where he needs to be good. He needs not to make a mistake now and end up throwing it off the road. But he's close. He wants it. He wants it. He can sniff it. He's right up the rear. Now, does he go around the outside? Does he go up the inside? That is the question. Let's see. Slipstream time now. Let's see. Gaz will have to cover the inside line. There's not really anywhere else to go. He'll have to just stay middle. He'll have to stay in the middle because if he gets in the inside, he'll go for it. He's going to lunge there down the inside. Can't do it on the brakes. Thinks of it. Can't do it. Has to back off then. They just about get through. But this is where Papano gets such a good exit normally. We know he's good in this last corner. He's going through. He is through into the lead here in the Nurburgring. From what? First down to 4th. Backed up to the first place. He's past Gaza. And now can Gaza come through then? He's got one opportunity. He'll have to lunge him. He'll have to lunge him if he wants it. He has a look. He's going through. Is there be contact nearly? Surely there isn't. He just about gets away with it. Through turn 1 they go here on the last lap. Here in the Nurburgring. Let's see then. Exit of turn 2. Can he little sliver run up the inside? Papano covers him aggressively. Can't do it there. And I think that might be one of the few opportunities he gets. Papano's on a mission. And he leads here in the Nurburgring.
This is a great last lap battle. The last lap battle that we've had was in Germany and it was in Hockenheim. So Germany is quite famous for that side of things, but this time it is Gaza and Papano, not Boy Raxa and Jazzman. I think Gaza likes being involved in lead lap battles in sprint races because he was in the last one as well in Ruin Their Starts. With this time it was his teammate, not Papano. So, you know, he seems to be doing good in sprint races, but we shall see as we are going to be approaching the last few moments of this race as Boy Raxa in 3rd place, so he is catching. So all it takes is for any of these two to make a mistake and then Boy Raxa and Tinnis maybe might come into this as well. So Papano, can he hold on these last few moments then? We'll have to wait and see. He's looking good so far. He's not used to being at the front in this corner, that's for sure, but he is now, as he's pulled away 7 temps compared to Gaza. And Boy Raxa and Tinnis. I'm sure Tinnis is going to try and find a move. He's getting very close, actually, pretty soon.
Through the last corner then, Papano. He was optimistic. Some might call it rash, some might call it a little bit wrecked. whatever it is, you come through the last corner and you win here in the Nurburgring for the sprint race then. And that is one of the best overtaking opportunities in the last couple of laps I've seen in a long time. Gazza in second, by Raxa in third. Oh dear God, Tinnis has murdered his teammate and Jazzman is dead.
Luckily, he finished because he was a lap. I think he was a lap down, I believe. Oh my goodness! Look at his car. Oh my word! That
Jazzman has been in fact killed, I might add. Jasko will be starting on pole position for the feature race, and he beats Scold. And oh dear God! As there goes a poor dead car through the thing, and Ethan wants to be careful he doesn't get rear-ended as well, because that might hurt very much if he does. But they do say don't collide once the race is finished. I think there's a little bit of trouble going on down there, and I think Skull's rather been murdered. But Papano wins then. The Greek wins in the Nurburgring from Gaza. Byrax ahead of Tinnis. Cam a fine fifth after those small mistakes. Vicky Daddy in sixth. Defino ahead of Jasko. Scold in ninth. Ethan down in 10th. Good result for him. Leonardo covers off Vetro for 11th and 12th. Then comes Essa. Then comes Cole Fogarty in 14th. Jazzman down in 15th. Archel did not finish yet again.
I mean, Archel's just not being very lucky, Evil. He's just not, I mean, it's just not the best. And I just left the session for some weird reason. So I'll need an invite at some point again. But yeah, I mean, Papano, yeah, it was one of the best moves I've ever seen, I think, around Nurburgring. And, it just goes to show for Papano. You can't win in turn 1, but you can win on the final lap, and that's what he's done. So, good job from Papano.
Yeah, optimistic and brilliant. Archil doesn't seem very pleased, I don't think, potentially. So we'll have to review that incident at the start. But what I think, it must have been Jasko going round through turn 1. So we'll keep an eye on going on in the chat, by the way. So that was Leonardo into Archil. That went into Jazzman. So Constantino effect there. There's nothing anyone could do because there was a car pointing sideways through turn 1. But from what I see, it was Leonardo into Archil into Jazzman. Jasko somehow got away with that just about. So a lot of drama at the start of this race.
Yeah, I just hope I'm a bit worried if it will happen again in that one. But at least they have a bit more time to get focused and warmed up. Because in the sprint race, you literally, as soon as the lights go out, you're going. But in the feature race, you have a little bit more time. You got a lap to get a feel for the track again and your surroundings and think, right, when's the best place to overtake? So, I think we'll see a lot cleaner start in turn 1. I think the ones that were involved in that lap 1 cars will take it a little bit more easier in this race, because otherwise, because Jazzman will be starting near the back, because only the top 8 get reversed. So yeah, I think it'll be a lot easier, I think, for these drivers.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, of course. Anything can and will happen at the start of this race, and it usually does. I mean, there's drama, there's excitement, and, well, the reverse grid, as you've seen, you've got back in the server, that is good to see. But reverse grid races often bring up a lot of explosions and a lot of drama. So, well, let's see what can happen.
Yep, indeed. And obviously there was a few people in the chat. I think obviously Rotary is his first race in the BMW. I can't remember what car he was in before his G29 died. Mercedes. Yeah. And he was expecting the BMW to be decent. And boy, was he wrong. I think he didn't like that one bit. But he's got to get used to that for the rest of the season. But, we were setting low expectations for him. But it's just a learning final few races of the season, I think, for him before he races again next season. So, he doesn't want to. He's not there to win just yet. He's just there to learn with his new wheel. And from what I've heard, obviously, it's much better than his G29 due to the force feedback and stuff like that. But yeah, the top 8 then get reversed. I'm very excited about this, but it should be obviously different conditions, different tire temperatures could happen, so we could see a different scenario. But it'll be interesting to see, will the likes of Papano make his way up the field to back in for the win, or will the likes of Tinnis or Gaza or Boyraxa, maybe even Big Kid Daddy could get up there as well. We've seen a few promises from Big Kid Daddy as well in the past, so I think Big Kid Daddy could do well here. He's very good at usual sprint races, but yeah, should be an interesting one. Let us know what you think in the chat is going to do well in the feature race. Don't forget, it is a 40-minute one, so much longer one than expecting, but you know, I think these drivers are using it as a time to reflect on their performance in the last race, like we said earlier, and this could be a learning curve for some of these guys, but for the ones who finished quite well, they just got to keep it going, but better.
Indeed. Well, let's see what can happen, of course. Anything will and can happen in these reverse grid races. We saw what happened last week. Now, Jasko, who starts 8th, has a real opportunity of winning this race, of course. He started pole last race. In the first race, he did not. Of course, he was the one who got pointed backwards to turn number 1. So let's see if he can come through and manage to win this one. And what's up for Papano? He's going to be the lean, mean fighting machine. So, let's find out. Well, we've got to look forward to this race, though, Jessen. These standing starts off me, I think we should always move standing starts from now on, don't you think?
What do you mean?
Having the standing starts from the first race, of course, that just always makes such a good opening lap, don't you agree?
Yeah, I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that standing starts. I think they should do more often. I think that's something I would feedback when they do the feedback forms at the end of the season, because they just got to think a bit more. They can't just rely on other drivers. They could just think. They could just say, well, how am I going to get a good start? Whereas the rolling start, you have more chance to think, and it puts a lot more pressure on the drivers. And I like sitting drivers put in a lot more pressure than intended to. But obviously next season might be the last season of GT3 for PS4, but you know, we won't go on to that one just yet. But we still got this season to go, of course, and Boyraxa was not in the top 2 for the first time in 4 races, I believe, so he needs to get his head on a little bit. But I think the feature races is where he shines, Evo. I think the longer races is his speciality more than the sprint races. Yeah,
the feature racing, the longer ones, often they are the ones that provide the more action. They often can provide it. The short race as well. You know, in GT3, it's the long game, I suppose, not the short game as well. Archil will start 16th. So you've got the order then for the reverse grid race. So Jasko will start on pole position from Defino. Big Kid Daddy in 3rd. Matt Jordan will start in 4th out of Tinnis in 5th. Benji lapped by Raxa in 6th ahead of Gaza. Papano ahead of Scold in 9th. Ethan, 10th. Leonardo, Vetto, Essa, Fogty, Jazzman and Archil. That is your order, of course. All 16 drivers still going to be racing in this race. But is the man from... I can't exactly remember what country Jasko's from.
I look at it as flag. It's... I can't really tell, to be honest.
It's the most... I've never seen that flag, and to poor Jasko, she's probably going to murder me later on because I probably forgot his country. But
he's probably going to murder me.
He's going to murder us because I can't remember the country. I'm not good with flags. I never have been. Skills are occasionally not very good, but it could be worse. I've known someone called Scold who might have forgot and thought that Wales were in Wales, and they were Sanders. He mixed Wales and Whale up. So yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Fun fact for you there, Scold, who often moans at me for being dyslexic, doesn't know the difference between Wales and Wales.
Wait. There is a worse one. One of my friends thought the capital of Scotland was Cairo for some weird reason.
That there we go. That might win it, lads. Have any of you guys had a weird geography thing where you place put in the below whilst we wait for this 5-minute cooldown to do? Wow, nice and peace and quiet right now, Jason. Well, we often say, looking in the chat, but let's see if anything's going on down there. If you got any comments, do put them in. We will answer as you've got a few minutes before the start of the race. Actually, we've got 0 minutes before the start of the race. So do put your comments down anyway, and we'll maybe have a look as well whilst we've got racing, we've got a little bit of moments to do, but of course, 6 o'clock in game times, 1800 hours. Some medium cloud to light cloud in this race, which would provide some slightly cooler conditions. I spoke to some, and they say it's some 14-15 degrees cooler than it was earlier on in the first race, Jess. So that's going to be a very big change of conditions indeed.
Yeah, I did point this out a few minutes ago that the changing conditions could change the field up a little bit, because some people might like the cooler conditions, some people might like the hotter conditions. Personally, I would find it hard in these conditions because the sun is very low, which, well, the visibility is very, very tricky, which means the braking zones may be a bit different, your muscle memory may be different, and you'll feel the circuit. You just got to learn it off by heart, really. And this is the point where you can tell who's practiced and who hasn't. And the ones who have practiced, they'll get it absolutely right, continue like they've done before, and the ones who haven't may continue to brake like they were in the first race, and it just doesn't work. So, you know, we'll see on that one, of course, as I just transfer scenes. There we go. So we are on the grid then. Not the order that they're going to be starting from, because the game doesn't like that. So the drivers will have to move out the way to let the people through. For the second time this session, Jasko will be on pole, but not where he wants to be at the moment, because obviously he would have preferred to be in 8th place, and he would have preferred to win it, but obviously he didn't win it. So, yeah. Actually, no, I don't think Jasko wasn't. I can't remember. I know it's been 20 minutes ago, but it's a long time, okay, Evil?
20 minutes is a long time. He was on pole, and yeah, Papano alongside him on the front row. Gazza was in 3rd, and of course Papano, who ended up rather going deep in turn number 1, and Jasko, who spun. Both of them lost a lot of position, but yet was Mr. Papano, who starts down the back, who did win the race. Meanwhile, in the chat, by the way, we got Dunderpants, which is a beautiful name, by the way, saying he had a girl in geography think Mount Snowdon was Mount Everest.
Oh
so, there we go. So, anyone else got any fun geography?
Mishaps?
Well, not fun mishaps, as Jess dropped something somewhere.
Well, it was. I almost knocked my phone, but it's still on the desk for some weird reason.
Still on the desk. The phone is safe. Everything is good. We're all relaxed in the commentary box, waiting for the second race to go. Now, let's see the beautiful BMW sign in the background, which I have very full memories, and I don't know if anyone knows it, everyone can remember there was an incident around there. It was in real life where a GT3 car ended up almost flying into that. So if anyone can find it out there, because I do remember it vividly, do let me know. But let's get ready for this feature race. Remember, rolling start as well. Wait 5 seconds, and they'll be rolling off the grid one by one, like those are. So let's go rolling them off the grid. Let's see. So everyone's going to get themselves into the grid order. So Jasko should be the man who starts on pole position. Behind them, we've got the likes of everyone else. I've forgotten what order I just said it was.
I will check. I will check. I will
check.
I will check. So I've got it on my phone somewhere. So I will do that. But we know that Jasko. So it's Jasko, then Defino, then Big Kid Daddy, then Matt Jordan, then Tinnis, then Boyraxa, then Gazza, then Papano, who started pole, and then everybody else who finished from 9th downwards. We got Ethan, then Leonardo, then Vetro, then Fogarty, then Jazzman, and then the one who retired from the last race, Archil. Some of them still not in the right order, because at the moment Jazzman's in last, but Jazzman is not meant to be last, but hopefully Archil could drop back a little bit. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's dropping back a little bit.
Does Archil know that it's a rolling start?
Yeah, he's dropping back.
Oh, he's dropping back. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Getting himself in a good position in a safe location, of course. Almost comes together. That is with Essa there as they go slow, and Jazzman, who goes right behind him, flashing his lights there. Jazzman, who should be ahead of Archil, I believe. So, let's see. I'm not sure what's going on down the back there. But Archil and Jazzman a little bit further back than should really be. Either that or Jazzman wants to stop.
Oh, Jazzman's lagging.
That might be some lag as well. Well, let's see what happens in turn number 1 then. If we see Jazzman like a bowling ball into everyone, we know what happened as Archil.
Oh my
They
goodness.
collided there. What on earth just happened there? Archil and Jazzman colliding in the formation lap there, and I'm not sure what is going on down there. That is very poor, I might say. There is Jazzman. I'm not sure, he might be ahead of him. He might not be, but they're well off where they should be there.
I think they're almost heading to the start finish line, Evil.
Yeah, they are. So Jasco and Defino. Almost getting Constantino through the chicane meanwhile. Keep an eye out what's going on in the background as well. But Jasco, Defino, Big Kid Daddy. Then we've got Mount Jordan, who's got an opportunity to win this race this time around. As spinning yet again through the last corners begin. The feature race then, and when they are right to go, they're underway. And when they go full throttle, they are underway. And it is going to be underway in just a few seconds. And now they're underway then here in the Nurburgring then for the feature race. Good start there. Oh, we've got cars off Foxy and Vector colliding in the background there. So damage is already done to 2 cars, but it's Jasco later with Defino in second. And they're all going to get through turn 1 correctly on this lap. Like, it seems like everyone's pointing in the right direction so far through turn number 1. Foxy down the back already in trouble. But it is Jasco leading this race from Defino. Big Kid Daddy had a Cam in 4th. Then we got by Raxa, Tinus, Gaza battling away with Skold. Skold, good start for him. We're trying up the inside there of Gaza, the former champion. He does them straight away then. So Skold up to 7. Leonardo in 8th. We've got Carl down the back. That is Fogarty in trouble. We've got Ethan trying around the outside of Archil as well. Off the circuit goes Ethan, I think, actually, there. He goes off the circuit. So going a little bit too deep so far. We've got 3 abreast. There's Papano having a look up the inside of Gaza. Down towards the hairpin there. Papano covers it off just about there. Gaza ahead. Around the outside there it goes. Leonardo gets a nudge rather from Papano as well. Now Skold. Archil's going to try and come through around the outside up the top of the Schumacher rest. You'll get squeezed out there. No way through there. One car very wide there. And I'm wondering, was that one of the Lamborghinis I saw going off the circuit there? Jazzman down the back in 16th place. He's had
Leonardo? In 10th?
Yeah, no positions. Leonardo down in 10th as well. Has he gone off circuit somewhere? He did drop back a little bit there. So yeah, he has dropped behind Papano. But Papano having a look on the back of Gaza. So let's see if these two can have a little bit of ding-dong battling then. Let's see if Papano is going to be late on the brakes yet again. He is going to be down on the brakes yet again. Is he going to make the corner? That is the question. No, he won't. He just about does. That's going to cost everyone a lot of time. Papano yet again late braking and costing time. In the pits comes Fogarty there. Now, that's going to cost him a huge amount of time. He got involved in contact with Vector. We're not sure what happened out there.
Vector's not pitting. Vector's not pitting.
Yeah, he might have got away with not getting too much damage from that then. We'll find out. But there goes Esther up the inside. Or Archel up the inside. Leonardo up the inside there. And oh
God.
That's a little bit clumsy there, and they all somehow trip over each other. They all somehow get through turn 1. Kevilo, but
oh my goodness, there's I think someone behind Papano, and there's Archer in 10th place. He's had a god start. He's already up into 10th, so that is really good for him. I mean, you know, hopefully he can keep this up, and hopefully we don't jinx him or anything, but hopefully his move will be a little bit more tidier. But at least he's still continuing. At least he's following the rules, of course. So you know, that is great to see there. And obviously Essa behind Vetro. And we've got Ethan as well, who's dropped a few places. Not the best starts from Ethan. And then obviously Jazzman and Fogarty, who yet to pit. Rotary is going to have a look round the outside. A bit late on the brakes again. But he doesn't do it. He does it, I think, yeah. I
think he did. So good move from Ethan then on the brakes there. Gets through. Essa, I think, backed off there a little bit on the exit. Realised a bit late that was coming through. Jazzman there. Lagging away, one car very sideways up the top of the Schumacher S. I think that was Vectra. That keeps all the cars going in a straight line. Meanwhile, up front, we have Jasco leading this race, and this man has now got a big opportunity to win this race. Lamborghini. Then comes the Mercedes trainer by Raxa and Matt Jordan. Jordan having a look up the inside. That's switch around the outside, then down into the chicane. Let's see, can he go around the outside? Can't do it. Trying to switch back through the exit. Big twitch for good measure as well. And he just has to sit back for the time being. Is up the inside. Try by Raxa. Having a look at Big Kid Daddy there. So far, drama and excitement gesture on that number 3 already. and starting to see some gaps forming in the pack. Meanwhile, I'm seeing, as I look at the inside there, attempting Matt Jordan, Big Kid Daddy under pressure there, and now getting overtaken, I think, slightly, so we'll keep on this shot right now, as round the outside attempting, goes by Araxa. Now, this might allow Big Kid Daddy just to break away, as Cam is looking as well. So, Araxa wants to get past, but right now he's getting held up. These all guys getting held up rather a lot by Big Kid Daddy right now, Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to be held up in traffic like that, especially when you want to try and get past and get some battles. And it kind of reminds me of, obviously, in Formula 1, where you have these DRS trains, but obviously no DRS in GT3, so slipstream is required here. And I know a few drivers are going to try and break that slipstream. Big Kid Daddy, if he doesn't get a move on now, and if he doesn't pull away, then a lot of trouble could happen for him, because Boy Raxa, you can tell by the way he's driving that car, he is ever so quick compared to Big Kid Daddy. As Boy Raxa, he's only a tenth quicker though, so, but surely I think he must have got hold up, surely. We know how Matt Jordan is quick on this circuit, at the opening bits of the last race. So, again, he's quite fast as well as Tinnis. So, yeah, I think Big Kid Daddy is definitely a hindrance to everybody else. As Matt Jordan goes off the grass, as I said that. A bit of commentator's curse there. I think I should stop saying stuff about Matt Jordan, because he's going to end up doing very wrong things if I keep talking about him. So, yeah.
Matt, he doesn't seem very good under pressure, Jess, and that seems to be a weakness for the young driver. He's new here. I don't think he cracks under pressure, and unfortunately for him, it's costing him positions, it's costing him places where he really should not be making mistakes. He got a little bit too wide on the AstroTurf, and it just dragged him off into the grass, and when you get sucked off there, it's just not very fun. The grass, it's slippery as well out there on this game compared to some other games, of course. It's a little more slippery, but Scold in 7th. He's keeping his car relatively clean. Pine down in 8th position. He's 1:55, so he's going 2 seconds a lap quicker than this Gagala car, so he should catch them within the next about 3 or 4 laps. Archfield down there in 9. We've got Gaza, Leonardo, Vector, and Ethan down the back. Jazzman in 14th. Essa and Fogarty right down the back, of course. Those two having none some luck so far this season. But it's Matt Jordan, of course, the man who has had a very strong debut there. Is Scold rather drifting through that corner, might I say, who's also having a very good return to glory since he's changed to the Audi. He's definitely got more pace, he's got more grip, he seems more comfortable compared to his teammate at least. He's definitely the highest scoring Audi so far this season. He's outscored, he's outraced, but not out-qualified Archer, but it's all showing just the consistency really is the key around this season.
As George Russell says in the Williams, even though he's usually at the back of the grid, but no matter where you are, consistency is key, and if you don't keep out the consistency, that's what ends into disaster. As the interesting thing is that obviously Matt Jordan is outscoring Essa, and Essa's been there for most of the season, whereas Matt Jordan has only been this is only his 3rd race. So obviously we had one earlier on as well. Scold's doing very well again. He's dropped a few positions in the last race, but he's still in 7th, so he's gained quite a few. Matt Jordan's gained a 10th on Tinnis. I was trying to remember who it was. I was trying to remember the abbreviation. I'm starting to get a hang of these abbreviations now. I've been in this box for far too long now on PS4, but yeah, I'm starting to feel a little bit more of home now. As start finish straight then, we're starting to see more moves being made from this midfield pack, and you can see Matt Jordan gaining on the Lamborghini.
Well, he has to cover him. Can't do it. Good defending from Tinnis.
A bit late on the brakes for Matt Jordan though, so he was going to try and go for the move there, as he's got an Audi of Skull right behind him as well, which he saw this opportunity and he was always going to go for it, but again he chose not to, and I think Skull might be held up a little bit due to the fact that he's doing quite well. Archfield down in 9th still, but considering he started last, that's still a pretty good race for him so far. Jasko still managing to hold on to the lead, which is impressive. I mean, he's good at these type of races. His last best result was, I believe, he won. Actually, no, Papano won, but Jasko came 2nd in the first race, which I can't remember what it was. What was the first race again? It's been that long ago.
The first race of the season would have been at Spain.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Spain. What an idiot. Yeah, so, yeah, I could see good things in for Jasko. I think when Jasko's not involved in incidents, he does well. So, you know, he's one of those drivers that prefers clean air more than anything. He reminds me of certain drivers that prefers clean air rather than racing. I think Lewis Hamilton in some tracks, Germany being one of them.
Good daddy having a look here, Jess. So it's cut over him around the outside into the NGK, and that's it. Then on the brakes, having brave around the outside there. Has he gone around the outside? He's gone too deep. He has gone too deep. Had to go straight through the chicane there. Now he's going to be in a bit of trouble right now because he's going to have to give that position back. He does do so. He wants to be careful, doesn't give the position back to Boy Raxa as well. He seems to have done that relatively okay, but Boy Raxa gets a good exit through the last corner. Now Boy Raxa, let's see. He sniffs it. He's getting slipstream off of Tofino as well. Tofino not helping Big Kid Daddy at all right now. And let's see. Might lose one, might lose two. Big Kid Daddy there. Round the outside. Love the inside for the next corner. As long as he can go too deep, which he does do so. So never mind for that undercut. So, small mistake in case of gaining a position. He loses one, but it's not over yet. Let's see if he can try and sniff one around the inside. No, he can't do it yet. On board we go then through this tricky corner. Right up the rear chuff of the Mercedes. Ethan's disconnected there then. So,
he's out then.
Issues for him. I'm wondering, is that a land cable issue yet again? He's had it a few times. I believe not. So, whatever it is, out here in the Nurburgring, that's a shame for him. That land cable has disconnected. He's left the party as well in my screen. So, that is a land
Evil
cable.
being a spy there for the other drivers. He's a Murray Walker and Ted Kravitz all into one. By the looks of things, you are. Because you obviously lead commentator and also you're just finding out about what the other drivers are doing. So, yeah, you're a bit of both there. But anyway, Big Kid Daddy, he is well on the back of Boy Raxa now. He's sensing a chance for Pano as well. Oh, Tinnis is connected. Oh, goodness.
Oh, God, all sorts of out of shape there. God, a huge mistake, and we've got cars going slow. Here goes Papano. He's having a sniff around the outside. That'll be brave, that. That'll be very brave, because that car's on the curb. He's also on the grass nearly as well. He just about gets away with it. Scold's having a look up the inside still as well. They will make it free abreast nearly into the chicane. Papano, though, gains 2 in 1 space of a second. But that is a real shame there for Tinnis. He's out of the server, and that could be big issues indeed. And it seems I've disconnected as well, and that seems to be even bigger issues there, as I've disconnected, and that might be server issues.
I think there might be server issues, because we saw Tinnis disconnect, and we saw, I don't know, it could be, look at this, I saw Matt trying to go for a move around the outside, but I think he's trying to defend from Marshall as well, so they're still going side by side once again. At the moment you can still see Papano. So, but I think, very late on the brakes from Marshall. I think he's just trying to make every move possible. And I think, actually, no, it's Archer and Scold and Matt Jordan Hanger battle, I think, for position. So, yeah, I swear, in these feature races, you always seem to have issues, Evil, because you did that in the last one in France. So,
yeah,
you know, it doesn't like you, Evil, in the second races I would have seen, but you know, I'll try and do as much commentary as I can whilst obviously this is all going on. There's someone's gone off. I think that's Scold. Yes, it is Scold. Scold's dropped down. I think that's damage for him. I think that's allowed, I think, Leonardo, Gaza and Vetro to gain a position there. So that, I think that's Scold out of the race now. Yes, that is Scold out of the race. We're down to 13 drivers then. This has been a crazy race. We only lost 3 drivers out of 16. So we lost 2 due to connection issues and Skull due to just terminal damage on the car. So he's not going to be happy with that one bit, as I think Papano's dropping a bit from Big Kid Daddy. He's a second now behind them. So, you know, I think it just goes to show Big Kid Daddy was getting held up a little bit. I think he's been told to wake up by his engineer, and he is responding. Big Kid Daddy, 156.8 for him. Papano, 156.4. So, you know, maybe, I think Papano is responding to Big Kid Daddy, but we'll see. We'll see if he's gaining. We're still waiting for the precious invite from Evil Dragon, as I think we've seen... we did see someone slide into turn 1. I wasn't quite sure what it was, because obviously we don't know, because an Evil Dragon has joined, so hopefully he could join momentarily, because I think there's loads of things happening in the background, and I kind of want to see what it is at the moment, but I'm not able to see what it is. I'm interested to see how Matt and Archel battle is happening at the moment. But we can't... I could see Archel really struggling with the car. He was weaving a bit all over the place at the moment, so... But he's still going, of course, but I think we can see Jordan pulling away in the background. So Papano is catching to Big Kid Daddy then. Can he do the Mr. Late Breaker as we've seen in the sprint race, of course? I think he can, but he's the one who's probably going to take a bit more risk. This is going to be longer, but we're almost in the halfway stage. It's Evil will tell me, of course, when he's can see everything again, because obviously the Thorpe does take a bit longer to load, of course, due to the fact that of how many cars and obviously the tracks and stuff like that. So we'll try to cover as much as we can. And Evil's back. Evil's back.
Got a big lag spike then as I joined, but I'm back. Welcome everyone back to the Nurburgring.
Hope I did okay there. Hope I did okay there, covering for you whilst you were sorting out your tech issues. Good. Right, let's carry on.
Right, now to figure out where everyone is, because right now, of course, everyone's in kind of jumble mumbo land. It'll take a lap or two for the game to try and register where everyone is. But Gaza is somewhere. I think he's 4th. That's
Gaz is 8th.
Vetro going wide. Yeah, that was Vetro or Leonardo, I think, going. Is that Leonardo going off through the last?
Yeah, that was Leonardo.
Yeah,
that was Leonardo. So I think your game's fine now.
Yeah, so it's starting to reconfigure itself back to normality, just about. I say that, it does say Cam is race.
Cam's not leading. I can tell you that for a fact. He's 6th.
So it may take a lap or two, but I see Papano. Let's go cut to him. He's down there in my screen, 30. That is not 30, but we have got 42 drivers apparently in this lobby, according to this now. So that's interesting. So I think something's gone horribly wrong there, because there's a lot of just blank. So driver blank is in the lobby. So that's interesting. Meanwhile, Papano, have a look at the inside. That's Big Kid Daddy. That must be the car. That must be by Raxa and then Defino. So that's the battle for 5th, 6th, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, I think, is it not?
It is Boy Raxa 3rd, Big Kid Daddy 4th, Papano 5th, and we've got Matt Jordan in 6th. So yeah, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. Maybe 2nd actually, because Boy Raxa, he's not that far behind Defino, so you know, it could be a battle for the 4 places here. This is going to get very intense. I mean, this is better than Ruined Stars, I must say. I think it's a lot more closer action compared to that.
Defino got damaged, yes, I'm wondering. In front of
he's losing pace. He's losing a lot of time, because for one moment, Boy Raxa was a little bit too far behind. Yes, he has. So I think Boy Raxa could get the move. I think it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. I think Boy Raxa may wait, knowing that he's got damage. So, but Defino chooses to stick it out for a little bit then, as we go on to lap 11. Well, they start lap 11 anyway. So here comes the charging Mercedes. Yeah, it's going to be an easy move, I think, around turn 1.
Late on the brakes as he do it, and he's just about to do it now. Reason why a little bit on the space, fair enough though. He's still trying around the outside. He's hanging there up the inside for the next corner. So he's not giving it up right now as they run side by side for the corner. Not often we see drivers this close together. It's still Defino holding that inside line. Boy Raxa can't do it though, so he just has to sit back for the time being. Jasko a 7 and a bit second lead up the road, as far as I'm making out on my telemetry.
Yeah, Jasko is leading by 6.5 seconds. You were close, Evil.
Yeah, well, I'll continue trying to guess where people are in this. I'm going to get used to it eventually. But Defino, 2nd position. He's covering off the damage on the front of that car. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars are going for 2nd position right now. As Defino's damage, he's going to back them all up so far. Pardo in 5th position. Doing an okay job so far. He's in the middle of this group right now. We know how good he is and optimistic he can be on these overtaking opportunities. As long as he isn't far off the road, by Raxa still having a look behind. Defino. Now, Defino's going to have to cover the inside line here. I can't imagine Jeff going to stay ahead for too much longer with this damage.
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's got to let him through. We could see he cut on the grass a little bit there as well. So that's not going to do his tyres any good there. So I think Boyraxa has just got to wait because he's got Papano. He's got Big Kid Daddy. And soon he's going to have Matt Jordan as well, who's only a few tenths behind Big Kid Daddy as well. So, as again, oh, Big Kid Daddy, that's not how you take that corner, my friend. I think he's got to probably let Matt Jordan through. I think Matt Jordan is definitely going to take advantage of this. He's probably going to do something. Oh, yeah, I think he's letting Matt through. I think he's realised his mistake, of course. Yeah, he is. Fair, good sportsmanship for Big Kid Daddy. He is trying to defend, though. But, yeah, I think he knows as soon as he cuts the corner, he knows to let him through anyway, so he doesn't get a penalty. I think he won't get a penalty after that. As Big Kid Daddy, lay on the brakes again, trying to go around the inside, but Matt Jordan much faster on that corner for him to get the move, so that's why he stayed in 5th place. And Boyraxa still behind Defino. I mean, Boyraxa's a lot faster than this. If he doesn't get past, Papano's going to just do the late brake move on him again, and he's going to get past as well. And I know Papano will make the move, so if Papano will do that, if you can't make the move on Defino, so will I. I will make the move, so he'll probably show him how it's done at the moment. We got a few penalties. Archer with a penalty. There's Vetro and Jazzman. 3 seconds for Vetro. That's not good. But Jazzman, he did say at this race, both of these races, to not set high hope for him. But here we go, Leonardo on Vetro.
Outside versus inside. Inside line should always win a battle, of course. And well, he always got the lovely inside line racing attempts there on the outside. He tries, but can't do it. And, well, at the top pinnacle of motorsport, they always try it. And anything can happen. Let's see if he can do it. They're racing at the It's not going to go up the inside there into the chicane. Well, happen, might I say. Very twitchy for Vetro there. Catches there in the 69 car. And, well, he might be saying this car feels like a piece of something bad. But it's right now.
It's a family show.
It's a family show. We're not allowed to say it, but it's something rhyming along the lines of something else I'm not going to say. But you might say it's a bit of sugar, honey, and ice, and a bit of tea on top of it.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good point.
Leonardo trying it. He's not going to do it yet. Jazzman down there, and Jazzman in the pit lane, actually. So I'm wondering.
He's got damage, I think, because obviously he doesn't have to pit, I don't think. Wait, he ran out of fuel? Wait,
no,
go forward with Jazzman.
He had enough fuel. He had some 35 litres, so he's not got fuel issues.
Oh, right, so it might be down. Oh, he's out of the race.
And he's out yet again, then. So, Jazzman, for whatever reason, may have caused his internet might be playing up.
It might be.
Let's see. He's trying left, he's trying right. It's Papano around. Papano's going to try a dive, I think, sooner or later. And Boyraxa knows it, because, like, he's covering the inside line. He knows not to give an opportunity to come through, and he's not going to let an opportunity to come through, not around the outside, not through the inside. And let's see, down towards the hairpin, the Boyraxa will have to go defending again. He does do so. Forces him to go around the outside, and we know, of course, around the outside here is not going to be easy, because we're going to just get squeezed out wide. That's it, back. He won't do the cutback either, because you can't get a cutback through this corner. It's just not really feasible, unless you get a mega exit and just send it into the Schumacher S, in which case, all God and hell ensues, and death and destruction might occur, because side by side of that, I've never seen a car overtake side by side there, and I don't think I ever will. Especially these GT cars, they're not very easy to overtake, might I add, and they're trying, they're pushing, but still, not a lot they can do. Let's see, like Papano, good exit speed through the exit, down towards the NGK chicane then, and that's it. Now, is he going to do late braking manoeuvre number 62 today? Or is he going to sit back and wait? And he's have a look at the inside. He dives down the inside. Does he think of it? He does do so. Thinks better of it. As Archill disconnects as well. So a steady influx of disconnections from this server today. And that is the fifth retirement in...
Fourth disconnection?
The fifth different retirement for Archill in the races he's done so far. He's having none so luck this season.
Apart from the last race.
Last race, because he didn't finish, but 4 not finishes, and that's got to be questioned, of course. Boyraxa in Vonnegut a bit close to comfort. as Papano gives it the welly, and he almost gets the boot. The good measure, and well, he's trying it, he's pushing it, it's not really paying out how you want to be doing. And I've got to say, look, I fear that there will be some stern words with this. And Jazz was saying he's having terrible conditions. He can't get any grip. He's got bad connection issues as well.
I think that was the main reason, connection, I think. So
yeah.
That is a shame for Jazzman.
Still late on the brakes, a bit of sliding there. He's having a look.
Papano! He's going to go for a lunge, is he? He's going to go to the right hand side.
This is brave around the outside. I said it when she. It's not going to work. He has to back off, but he almost does it. And just about holds the line just ahead. But Papano trying to kill us all then. And he wants to have a piece of everyone today, this man does. He's still having a look up the inside. Still can't do it. His Jasko is running away with this race with some 7 and a bit laps to go. Tofino, by the way, doing an incredible job of that damage. And I think Byraxer right now is helping poor old Tofino quite a lot. As Papano, again, down on the brakes, thinks of an overtake, doesn't do it. Now, this is the corner where he's often so good. There we go. Bad exit again. Now, this is the opportunity he'll be looking for. Now, we've got the inside here. Let's see, late braking manoeuvre, gives the car a little bit of welling. Now let's see, last time they collided through this corner, this time they do not collide through this corner. So
bravo, Papano, bravo.
Boy, Rax to try and come through again, then on the brakes. Let's see, that car, very defensive manoeuvre, very much saying, I'm just going to stay on my line here. You're going to go around the outside, I'm going to squeeze you wide. He tries it, doesn't work. Boy, Raxer tries again, can't do it. And yet again, through the chicane. Papano does it again. Late breakers, the last of the true late breakers, comes through again. They'll almost get to clout up the rear sausage for good measure from Byraxer, who's not had enough of him yet. A bit wide there for Papano. He might get himself slowed down if he's not too careful. But alas, they all just about keep each other on the circuit. Don't make any problems. Don't cause any issues. And now Papano go chase after Tofino in second position.
Yeah, that is Papano's mission now, and he's going to show pretty much Byraxer what he's made of here, because you can see, well, we're about to see in a lap's time, potentially, or in a few laps' time, what Papano's true pace is around this circuit when he doesn't get held up in traffic. So, you know, I think he's going to do well, I think. Hopefully I haven't just jinxed him there, but there are some parts of the circuit in these type of conditions where it's a lot more trickier than obviously during the day, as we are potentially in the last 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't do maths. 8 laps, 8 or 7 laps of this race. I mean, anything can happen for Papano. I think Papano has just lapped Fogarty, I believe. Or I did see someone. I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, that's Fogarty. They've just lapped. There are 8 laps to go, Jess. You are on point with your maths today, my young Padawan.
Yeah, 7 laps. Yeah, I was right. But yeah, thanks, Evil.
That must have. I'm not wondering who that was. That's I'm Jordan behind. So.
Oh no, that's Byraxer, I think. No, that's Byraxer. Sorry. Similar livery. It's hard. It's
both similar liveries. I'll give you that credit there. A bit damaged myself. Just noticed that Papano's car there at the front. Nose a little bit dented in, especially on the middle section, so slight damage for him, but that shouldn't do too much, of course. He's pushing on. He is the second quickest driver on the field, as Byraxer has a little nibble up the rear end again for that corner. He likes that corner. He's spun. No, he hasn't. He's kept it going, so he suddenly just disappeared from my timing screens there. Alas, Lope doing a good job. Big Kid Daddy still in 6th. Not a lot of action going on in this race. Only one driver with ponies. That is Vector down there in 9th. Right down the back, meanwhile, is Mr. Old Timer, Mr. the Old Fart, is he going to use? He's always calling himself. Mr. Fogarty, driving somnolently down the back. He's cruising, he's enjoying his time. And, well, you can blame him. He was involved in into the start of the race with Vector, and I think Vector and Fogarty were not quite sure what happened. They did end up magnetising and then banged into the wall. So, not what I'm going to do, but not long to go left in this race. Papano still hunting, still trying. It's not over yet for him. He's still got an opportunity for second position, and who knows, he might get the win. Never know what happened to the top guy, but this is going to be a good, solid, some 40-something points total from this weekend of racing, and that'll put him very much in contention for the top couple of positions, to put him around 4th or 5th, if I'm not too mistaken. As long as he keeps it on the island. Again, bad exit there from Defino, but Paul looks so prime through that last couple of corners. Defino knows that he covers the inside line well there. Now let's see, as long as he doesn't get a bad exit, as he covers this line there, he does do a very good job there, just covers the line there. And now let's see, is Fafano going to have a little dive for turn one? I reckon he is. He's vulnerable, I think he says, and he's going to go for it. Let's see, does he go for the dive for turn number one? He thinks of it. A little bit of a late move there from Defino. Does not allow him to come through in the slightest. And behind them there, still Byraxa Hunt, still Byraxa looks. But Defino, as long as he doesn't throw it off the road, as long as he defends well as well, he should just be able to hold that line off for the time being. Again, good exit speed, might I say, from Byraxa into that middle couple of corners through turn 3. Won't do a lot there down to turn number 4, because you're not going to go up the inside there very easily. Papano's still looking, and this is turning into a race just of just Papano looking and trying, and let's see. I don't think he's going to do it down to the hairpin this time, because he's going to cover the inside well and truly, Jess, but this is turning into a great race for Papano right now.
I think this is turning out to be the Papano show at the moment. Oh my goodness, he almost was too late on the brakes there, and it could have been damage for both Papano and Byraxa if he could keep this up. Papano's going to have a late move here, but Defino covers him off a little bit. I mean, Defino, I'm impressed with Defino. He's in P2, and I thought he was going to drop down in this feature race, of course, but he's doing really well. He seems to like this circuit, I think, in these long. I think he must like these conditions compared to everybody else, but Jasko is 8.8 seconds down the road at the moment. So he's the one that's liking the conditions the best of all. But, you know, we could see people making a mistake. It's Papano. Could try for a late. It's a very late lunge. Oh, my goodness. He is giving it his all today. As I think we've got Defino a bit late there. He went a bit wide. So this is Papano's chance. This time he goes to the outside, not the inside. There he goes. Papano's got the move. Byraxa's going to get the move too. Byraxa side by side with Defino. Let's go ball with them as they go into turn number 1. Byraxa could get 2 moves here, but he's got 1 at least, I think. And he's going to make a second one. Oh my god, if he gets this right, oh, it's going to be 3 wide.
Turn number 1, and just about, Jess, comes out of the first corner in the right direction. Defino on the outside, Byraxa on the inside. Papano gave him the squeeze there, and I don't think Papano realised there was 3 wide there. That was very lucky.
That was close.
Defino realised that and decided to move a bit more left, because that could have been an aeroplane crash. But again, Papano, another overtaking opportunity, another one that works, and now up to 2nd position in this race, and now truly to try and chase after the leaders. However, it's a little bit too far ahead, as Matt Jordan down there in 5th position is trying again to challenge and try and catch up. He's doing an okay job in 5th. He's ahead of Mickey Batty in 6th. 11 drivers still in this race. We've got 2 drivers out, of course. But we've said we've got quite a few more than 2 drivers out of this race so far.
Jazzman, we've got Rotary, Tinnis who disconnected, and obviously Archer as well, I believe. 50, 40, 50. We're missing another one. I can't remember who else retired.
Someone retired. We've Jasko's leading. I'm just going through trying to figure out off the top of my head. But
it was Archer, Jazzman, Rotary, Tinnis, and there's someone else.
Scold,
that was it. Scold. There we go. So those are the 5 drivers we lost so far in this race. That's a bit of a shame, isn't it? I mean, you can't help with disconnection issues, but, you know, PlayStation has reduced the quality a little bit due to the coronavirus outbreak, and it's caused some people with lower internet. Here we go, Defino's probably going to lose another position there.
Now he's having a look, actually, on so he got a very good exit. Is he going to have a little lever up the inside for turn number 1? We know the Lamborghini seems to play out on the brakes today, and let's see. So far, Lamborghini 1-2, as Matt Jordan has a look up the inside, potentially. Defino has a look up the inside in retaliation on Byraxa to there on the brakes, and this might allow Matt Jordan to come through. There'll be 3 abreast then through turn number 2. Round the outside, Defino holding that line beautifully there. And this is the corner where Byraxa is so late on the brakes. He's getting down the inside. On the inside, Matt Jordan has a look as well. Defino holds that line well on the outside. Just about covers it there as they almost collide down the straight. Side by side, Matt Jordan trying around the outside then. They bang wheels side by side, but again, I think just squeezed down the exit. They're nowhere through. The finish side was on the exit for good measure. As again, though, by Raxa, he's on the ragged edge so far, this championship leader. And he's under pressure, I think. He's come to Monaco circuit, which a lot of these drivers are going to be struggling on. And, well, right now, Jess, I think we're going to soak up the last of what is going to be real true racing for the next week and a bit.
Yeah, because next week we'll be in another crazy race in Côte d'Azur. And as some of you don't know, it's Monte Carlo. And for most of you that don't know, it's Monaco. So, yeah, I'm rubbish at it in Formula 1 cars. Imagine what's going to be like in GT3 cars. But we'll find out how the drivers cope with that next week. I mean, I think Defino must not be liking the pressure he's in right now. Earlier on he was second, but now he's down to fourth. So he's lost not one but two positions. I'm one of those drivers that is like Defino. I hate being under pressure if I'm near the top. But what I've been told is sometimes I just pretend that I'm last so I can challenge for positions a bit more. And that kind of helps a bit more rather than you thinking that you're near the top. I mean, that's a good way to think of it anyway. But here we go, Big Kid Daddy then. He's getting a bit of entry into the start-finish straight then. Let's see if he could get the job done. He's doing very well on fuel at the moment. It's really going to help him. And here comes Matt Jordan, defends to the outside. It's going to be a late lunge, I think, for those two. They're keeping him really under control, these two. I'm very impressed. Good job.
Yeah, and these GT cars, they don't lose it very easy on the rear traction, of course, unless you put too much willy in it and then spin the car, which almost on cue Matt Jordan does. He's getting Big Kid Daddy right up him there, and, well, what you always need to say, Big Kid Daddy likes to go and try and find battles, and he's had such a brilliant season so far. But you can't credit Jasko and Papano right now up front. There are some... Jasko is actually getting caught by Papano now, actually, by a second a lap, of course. That won't do too much. We've only got just under 2 and a bit laps to go in this race. And Papano by Raxa, Defino. Second, third, and fourth. We got Jordan and Big Kid Daddy. Then we got Gaza, Leonardo. Vetro is going to finish down in ninth. He's in a very lonely ninth position, might I say. Esso, who is down in 10th, who had some issue earlier on, we believe. We're not too certain. Fogarty, who was involved right at the beginning, had no luck since and struggled ever since the beginning of this race. We've still got a throwaway battle, though, Jess, for that second position, really, give or take. Separated by a little bit of a gap. Gaza not too far back either, so really a bad day in the office of Gaza and Raza, as I always call it, Gaz-Raz team. And so far, it is by Raxa, who's just about holding on to that third position right now, but not by much from Defino. Cam as well, just sitting further back. He's dropping back ever so slightly now, and Gaza, who's starting to come back into this ever so slightly now. He's some second and a bit quicker, maybe 2 seconds a lap quicker. A lap, but we've only got just under 2 laps to go, Jess, so I don't think he's going to catch them in time.
No, he's not, which is a bit sad for Jordan, but at least he's finding his time. If he carries on the way he does, he's going to get some good points out of this, and that's really going to help him cement his place in the league. I mean, to be honest, I've been impressed. Well, he was almost close in the first race, but at least he was still on the circuit, to be honest. At least he still kept going, which was great to see, but obviously, you know, you can't help sometimes if you're having trouble with your internet or having trouble with your connections at times, but that's what all the drivers who retired had to face today, obviously, and also Jazzman, kind of a bit of both, like had damage and obviously retired, but we shall see. You can see Papano's pulling away in the background. He must be loving life at the moment. He's nowhere near the leader, but I think has Papano 156.3. He's the fastest on circuit at the moment. He is flying.
Yeah, he might be flying, Jess, but he can fly very late on. It's not going to do a...
Very true.
When you've got just 2 and a bit laps to go. We're coming on to the penultimate one this lap coming. Lap 22 of 23. We're on the 21st of those laps. And Jasko, he's leading this race. He's led it from start to finish. He's kept himself clean, kept out of trouble. Papano in second as well. Then we got Raxa and Defino. Cam in 5th, ahead of Big Kid Daddy in 6th. It's a shame we've lost some 4 or 5 drivers out of this race, though, Jess. It happens occasionally, and it's a shame right now that, especially on a circuit like this, where it's been providing such good racing throughout this weekend, that we have got less drivers. But again, a bit of a slide there from Cam.
Quality rather than quantity, Evil.
Yeah, well, it's the quantity and the quality as well. We always want the quantity and the quality. It's always sometimes one on the other end. I've got to say the quality's been very good, minus a few bit of niggling issues at the beginning of the race and a few other incidents. That seemed a little bit odd later on in some of the races, but I didn't see what happened with the likes of Scold and all that. We'll have to look at it later on. But some drivers being aggressive, some drivers being calm. Talk about being aggressive, Low, and Cam having a look onto Fino still. That gap is closing all the time, and he's having a look up the inside potentially. Wouldn't do it there, Low, especially from that far back. Now, the only place he's going to do it is if he gets a really good exit through this corner and does it down into the hairpin, and then just squeeze him out. That's where you have to do it down into the NGK chicane or the first corner. And, well, really not many opportunities to come through unless you're very brave, as their big kid daddy, might I say, doing a little bit of gymkhanering through the corner, and he kept it. And I'm going to give that a drift of the day to the big kid daddy. That was a bit sideways, and he caught it. Up front, meanwhile, on the penultimate lap still, and your leader coming through to the top of the circuit to begin that final lap, Jess.
Yeah, final lap then. This is the moment for Jasko. Jasko has taken pole in this reverse sprint race. He took pole in the first race, didn't quite work. In this race, he got pole from starting 8th last race, and it has worked wonders for him. But enough about that. The most crucial thing is the battle for 3rd, because we've got, actually no, the battle for 4th actually. We've got Matt Jordan, Defino, Big Kid Daddy as well. I think Boy Rats is going to get P3 unless something catastrophical happens. And save for Prano. Oh, late on the brakes there. They're both going side by side into the penultimate corner. This could mean paid dividends. I mean, they want to get most points. You know, they're going side by side. Here comes Jordan. This could be very good for Jordan if he gets that position. He's 6th at the moment. He's going to have to resort to the outside. Big Kid Daddy. He has to force to attack then. As a little bit of a slide for Big Kid Daddy, but there we go. That's Matt Jordan up another place, up into 5th place. But it's far from over for Big Kid Daddy. He's still catching up. Gaza is somewhere in this as well. Oh my god, Big Kid Daddy trying to go for a late lunge there. That almost gave me a heart attack.
He's drifting that car, Jess. Like, I've not seen a car being drifted for a long time. He's completely sideways for every corner. Now, I'm not certain if GT3 cars will do. Look at it.
It's like Rallycross.
He's like a rallycross driver right now. Look at him go. He's just chucking it through like a rally car right now. Come on, my friend. He's flying around the circuit. Well, I don't see a GT3 car doing this, especially when it's a Lamborghini with some V10 horsepower, isn't it?
Yeah, don't ask me. I'm rubbish with cars.
Some 500 odd horsepower is in these cars, and he's drifting it like a rally. Defino. He's got himself a time penalty, by the way, might I add, of 1 second, and he is 1.4. So these two battling have really helped this battle, by the way. Up front, it's come down to 4 seconds now, but it's a little bit little let die as they come through the last corner. Jasko, he took the lead from pole. He stayed there from pole. He didn't work in the first race when he started from pole. He ended up getting involved in contact. It's redemption day as he comes through the last corner. Jasko then, through to the line, and he wins in the feature race here in the Nurburgring. Apano in 2nd. He makes it a double trip to the podium. Boy Raxa in 3rd, however. A good result for him. Defino, is he in 4th? It's going to be close. It's going to be awfully close, I think. He might have just got 4th at the line. He did just get 4th at the line.
Bravo for him. That's his best result, isn't it?
It is. Cam had a Big Kid Daddy, Gaza, Leonardo. Then we're waiting for Vectro. Then the last of the drivers. Scold has given up and left as well. Vectro across the line. And I think Vectro is going to be going skating on into turn number 1. Let's see. Is he going to stop? Is he going to go straight?
Oh my god.
Let's find out. No, he's decided he wants to stop. He's not going to be involved in a monumental shunt, and everything goes well for him.
He's doing donuts though. He's trying to do donuts. He's having a little bit of fun with the car. I do believe it's Esther and Fogarty still to cross the line. Here comes Essa then, and there's Fogarty. So, yeah, those two not having the best race, but at least Essa, 10th place. You know, it just goes to show really for Essa, the more people that get involved in little instance, and if you stay racing, he gets points. And to be honest, this race has rewarded him more than hindered him. So good job to Essa. Well done.
Yeah, it's waiting for Fogarty now to cross the line as well, the old timer. And he'll finish 11th yet again, of course. His favourite position seems to be 11th. But last, Jasko wins with part by Raxa Defino just narrowly edges out Cam, by the way, by what was just over a second actually in the end. So that's a little bit different from what it was. He did get a second. Finished a second ahead. Big Kid Daddy in 6th, Gaza in 7th, Leonardo and Vetro 8th and 9th, Essa 10th, Fogarty 11th, Jazzman in 12th position, the last driver to finish. Ethan, Scold, and Archie all did not
and
finish.
Jazzman, yeah, as well.
So Jess, I'll let you have the final words.
Well, to be honest, I quite enjoyed those first few races. I think the sprint race provided a little bit more action compared to the feature race, but you know, they found it a little bit more difficult. I think there will be a few complaints, I think, about the conditions, but I think if I was one of those drivers, I would be struggling with those conditions as well. So, you know, fair play to the guys for sticking it there. But yeah, who's your driver of the day, Evil?
It's hard not to give it to Papano. Late breaker, late diver. He made position gains where others don't expect it. He did a beautiful job throughout the race, so I'll give the driver of the day to him.
Yeah, I think Papano as well. He's getting the most points out of everyone this weekend. Obviously, he won in the first race. He came second in the second race. That's really going to boost him up to 4th maybe in the championship. So that's good. But that's it then for the Nurburgring circuit for round 6 of the GT3 Tier 1 for PS4. We'd like to thank you very much for watching, and we will see you in Monaco. Now, Monaco, as we said earlier, should provide a good spectacle, and it is a 24-hour progression race. So we're going to see some night time. We're going to see pretty much every time of the day manageable on this game. But, you know, I'm looking forward to that. So we will see you next week for Côte d'Azur in Monaco for round 7 of the championship. Have a good evening, everybody, and we will see you soon. Goodbye.